Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know me? I bet most of y'all don't know a thing about me. See, my government name is Loretta Mary Akins. My parents was James and Mary Akins. I'm one of 12 born in Brevard, North Carolina. A little small town right outside of the most beautifulest place in the United States, Asheville, North Carolina. My childhood was sad and painful. You see, the good Lord saw fit to take my parents by the time I reached 11. By the time I was 14, 2 old men had raped me. Had 2 children out of those 2 rapes. Had to give them up for adoption. But I had a loving grandma, God rest her soul. She told me to leave my hometown and go find myself some happiness. So at the age of 14, I struck out for Cleveland, Ohio. I joined this traveling minstrel group, and the big act of that time was Butterbeans and Susie, old married comedy couple. They took a liking to me and saw fit to help me get to my fame and fortune. Yeah, Jackie Mom's Mabley is the name that took me to my fame and the good old Lord. I came up during some rough times and challenging times. Riots all over the United States, World War I, World War II, segregation, prohibition, the Great Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, putting a man on the moon. Saw 11 presidents come and go, from Woodrow Wilson to old Gerald Ford. Yeah, Mom's been around a long time. I went from making $14 a week to making $10,000 a week. Good Lord above, there was some good money there. But none of this could have been possible without the good Lord. You see, I became the first female black comedian, the first female comedian invited to perform at the Apollo. I had a top 40 Billboard hit. Y'all might have heard the song Abraham, Martin, and John. Look it up on that YouTube thing or go rent it. I traveled on the Chitlin Circuit. Now see, the Chitlin Circuit is a touring group that only blacks performed on. And we went to every hole in the wall that a black person had. Yeah, juke joints, liquor houses, just bedrooms, living room. Wherever black folks wanted us to come and perform, that's where we went. Because we couldn't get into these clubs that these white folks had. Oh, no. You had to have special invitation. Then you still had to come in the back door. But I had a wonderful life. I had a record deal with old Chess Records. You know Chess Records. Had Muddy Waters, Etta James, Howlin' Wolf, and Chuck Berry. Oh, wonderful life. People labeled me the funniest woman in the world. But like I said, none of this could have been possible if it wasn't for the good Lord. You know, you have to know the Lord. You have to watch and pray, but above all things, you have to pray. You're never too old or too young to know God. You have to know and believe in a higher power. You can't make your own destiny without Him. Now, I starred in this movie called Amazing Grace, one of my last movies. And I had to make a speech to some college kids. And I think with the situation of the world today, I think that speech is relevant for right now. So I'm going to tell you what I told them. It hurts me very bad when I look upon my country now, a country that used to be free from guilt and scandal, and all those things that those other countries was known for. And to see my country now in the condition that it's in, it really hurts me. See, I ain't going nowhere. I am an American. I ain't from Africa. I am an American. And I ain't going nowhere till the good Lord and Savior calls for me. See them folks? They got everything. TV, radio, newspaper, homes, cars, money. But you know, we ain't got much of that to speak on. But one thing we do got, we got a mouth. Ain't nobody nowhere got no more mouth than we got. When we want to talk about somebody or something, we talk about somebody or something. When we want to sing, shout, hoop, holler, testify, signify, we do it. Why? Because we got them out. And I'm telling you, children, y'all need to know what I'm talking about. Now take me. I'm just an old church servant. Oh, I can fry some chicken, cook a good old pot of greens. But you children is something else. See, I ain't nothing but the neck bone. But you children, you the legs and the thighs and the dark meat of God's great chicken. And I want you to listen to old Grace Tillsdale Grimes. You hear me? Y'all better listen to me. See, because I'm your mama. Oh, honey, I know. I got children. Got 6 of them. Got a daughter up there in old New York City. Don't get to see her much. Had a son. He was in that war. You know, I got a telegram. 1 August afternoon. First telegram I ever had. And I decided that y'all was my children. All y'all were my children. And my children do what I tell them to do. And I'm telling y'all right now, I want y'all to take those brains that God put in your head and turn this world upside down. Go on out there and tell everybody that change can happen. Now I think that little speech that Moms Mabley gave in that movie was befitting of today because we're in a world of trouble. And we need people like her who open up doors and pathways so that our future can be bright. Yeah, I changed some of her speech that she had, but, you know, I didn't want to say anything too disrespectful about our president. But Moms Mabley was one of my favorite actresses, comedian of all times. I didn't know she was from North Carolina until I did the research on her. She could say some of the funniest things on stage. Now her stage act, she considered herself a dirty old woman because she loved young men. But in real life, she was known to be, you know, a lesbian. Her significant other was never revealed. So, you know, could be true, could still be speculation. But some of her most famous lines was, "Love is like playing checkers. You have to know what man to move." She used to say things like, "Blank the lights, watch the cars. Lights ain't never hit nobody and killed them." She said, "Old age is something you wake up with and you got it. Ain't no cure for it." She said, "If Elizabeth can run England, she can run America." I believe she could. She said, "What a young woman got that she didn't used to have. Just tell her where to go get it renewed." She said she had a husband that was so ugly, he put the ugly in ugly. She said there ain't nothing an old man can do for her but bring her a message from a young man or take her to a young man. Mom always talked about being a dirty old woman. She just really could say some of the most funniest things. Her stage and her albums was considered to be raunchy but respectful. She broke the color barrier and was asked to perform at the Carnegie Hall in 1962. She often dressed in men attire in her everyday life. She was beloved by all race of people.